So it's finally happened, Craig. Mourinho gone.
Well, the only surprise is that Ed Woodward and the board finally, it seems, and clearly had the stomach to make a decision, because that was the only stumbling block, because certainly results, as you know, we've been talking about it intensively, like most people, because it's been the big story. So, you know, there was nothing in the results, and certainly nothing in the behaviour of the camp and the leaking of stories and just the whole circus around Man United, the manager and Paul Pogba. So there was nothing to keep United from doing it, apart from potentially financial implications.
You mentioned Pogba. What role do you think the players had in this overall?
Look, players have always got a role in a sacking, and you know, I've been involved in clubs where managers have been sacked, and you know, you look at yourself and think, well, did I do enough, or was I fit, and blah blah blah, all the usual. It would be wrong to point at one person, right? And I know, and I talked about it in the show, as you know, that United may have to look to get rid of Pogba and Mourinho at some point. Now he goes out this morning and posts something on Instagram with you know some
caption this, wasn't it?
Smart Alec comment, which is completely wrong. But I think it just tells the story of the whole sort of ambience or lack of it at that club at the moment. So you know, he's got to look at himself as well. Not blaming him for a sacking. There's a lot of stories behind the scenes. But as United's biggest, best, most talented and most sellable player around the world, you know, he's got to look at himself and say, you know, I don't like the manager and he didn't like me, but could I have done more? And he's one of a lot of players that could have done a lot more.
Within the dressing room now going forward, how much does this kind of galvanise? How much does it bring them together?
Well, yeah, I think, you know, it's like, listen, when a manager leaves the club and he's not popular, you know, a lot of time the players will be pleased.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see, there's no glee in seeing a manager get the sack or anybody get the sack, but it's inevitable in this business, and you know, in particular, you know, in football management with so much money and such a big club. And people say, why are you always talking about Man United? They are such a big club. They're an iconic club around the world. We talk about them, whether they're win, losing or drawing. There's a reason when Man United play in England, they're on the telly almost every time. There's a reason for that, because they resonate around the world. So the scrutiny's on them. What I think the board will be looking for short term is just somebody to come in and keep the place happy.
Yeah.
Right. Try and get some performances. You're not going to beat PSG. You're not going to win the Champions League. You know, you might get in the top four, but let's have a happy camp until we can sort this mess out and restructure behind the scene, whether it be sporting directors, whether it be technical directors, or whatever it is. But clearly they need people that can make better decisions football-wise than Ed Woodward.
A lot more reaction then to come from Craig and the rest of the boys throughout the day. So keep it here on ESPNFC.com.